Blog Talk Radio.
Out at foggy midfield, muddy midfield, although they've done a heck of a job getting the field ready, they just tossed the coin to start the proceeding.
Silver back looking left, looking in. He's going to go long down the left side. There he is. And it is called 35.
Welcome to Nbs Startem Show, hosted by True X, the sports junkie, and J Franchise, where we'll give our weekly fantasy sports predictions and analysis. Now, let's start the show.
Yeah, baby, what's good? Welcome to the Startem Show, our fantasy football show on NBS Central Radio. That's nothing but sports for everybody out there. Of course, I'm your host, True X, the sports junkie. It's not looking good for your boy in the NBS League. I need a big win today against one of my homies from another sports team, Ray. I need to come through, but we're going to see what I can do. But, of course, I got the homie in the building from San Jose, my man, Kia. What up, baby?
Yo, what's good, man? I'm looking forward to this week in fantasy football as I go against Jasper. He's 2-0. Hopefully things plays out the way I want to compared to last week. Because last week it was horrible for my team.
Well, at least it's only 1 week for you. It's been bad for me the first 2 weeks. And Jasper actually beat me last week in the MBS League. And he did it very convincingly. And I had Odell Beckham, who scored crazy fantasy points, and I still lost by a big margin. So, shout out to Jasper, by the way. But, of course, we're here to help you guys. I'm doing pretty well in all my other fantasy league. It's just the MBS League. So hopefully we can help you guys. And I'm not saying hopefully. I know we can help you guys. We're going to kick it off right now with the top 5 fantasy quarterbacks on the day, excluding Patrick Mahomes, who's elite. We know you start Patrick Mahomes no matter what. In my opinion, he's the only elite guy. Of course, maybe Aaron Rodgers, you can throw in that bunch. But, Keo, who are your top 5 quarterbacks on today?
Okay, starting at number 5, I'm rolling with Phillip Rivers at number 5. He's going against Houston. They just came off a loss. I mean, their offense did struggle to move the ball against Detroit, but I like him this week, man. And usually when it comes for Chargers teams, especially losing in a game that they're supposed to win, they'll win a game that people would think they would lose. And I expect Phillip Rivers at home to have a huge game, man. So I like Phillip Rivers at number 5. Number 4, I'm rolling with Matt Ryan against Indianapolis. Indianapolis defense is a little banged up. Their offense looked like they were clicking last Sunday night against Philadelphia. So I like Matt Ryan number 4. Number 3, it might be a surprise for you, but I got Teddy Bridgewater at number 3, man. Yeah, man. A lot of people, including the loyal Saints fan, has jumped off the Saints bandwagon, but me, I have not, because despite Breeze out is huge, but man, you can't count out Teddy Bridgewater. I mean, he's a dual threat. He could throw the ball. He's dangerous outside of the pocket. So you're going to have to, defend him differently. And one thing about Sean Payton, man, everybody fits in the system. So I feel like he's going to make it work. I feel like he has time to prepare. against, you know, a team like Seattle whose defense, who I don't think is great. And despite being in Seattle, I don't think it's going to make a difference. And I think Bridgewater is going to surprise a lot of people. So I got him at number 3. Number 2, this is my 2 and 1 are the 2 biggest surprises of all, because my number 2, I got Josh Allen at number 2, man. Yeah, man. Josh Allen against Cincinnati. Josh Allen, you know, we were making fun of him last year, but Josh Allen has improved this year, man. And going against Cincinnati, who's been struggling as of late, I like his chances this week. You know, he could throw the ball, he could run the ball also. And with David Singletary out, and I think we'll expect more fantasy points from Josh Allen at number 2. And number 1, man, I'm going with your boy, Jameis Winston.
Wow.
Jameis Winston was huge last week. He proved a lot of people wrong. He was throwing the ball really well, spreading that ball around, except to a Truth's guy, O.J. Howard. But he's going against the Giants, and the Giants have allowed 24 fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks, to guys like I just named, Josh Allen, Dak Prescott, and I think Winston should do well with Tampa Bay B at home. You know, he's faced the Giants the past 2 seasons, and he's averaged 25 points a game in those matchups when he faces the Giants, and that's why I got Jameis Winston at number 1. So guys like Deshaun, like True said, Mahomes, I'm not putting up there. Deshaun Watson, I'm not putting up there. Aaron Rodgers, I'm not putting up there. So that rounds up my top 5.
Wow, I'm shocked by that. I'm not going to lie to you. But the crazy thing is, coming in number 5 for me is Jameis Winston.
Wow.
I like Winston at 5. I think he's going to do very, very, very well today. But I can't put him at 1 because there's a couple of guys I like a little bit better than him. But I do think with Daniel Jones coming into the game for the Giants, Winston being a former number 1 overall pick, I think Winston's going to do some good things in this game. I think the Bucs are going to finally make their run, like I saw before the season when I said the Bucs have a chance to win this division. And I'm hoping with Evan Ingram on the same field as O.J. Howard gets some targets, gets a touchdown or 2, and has a really big game. So I got Jameis Winston coming in at number 5. Coming in number 4, I got a guy that's in a huge matchup today. We're going to find out if they're truly contenders or pretenders. If this guy is worth the MVP hype that he's received after these first 2 weeks, and I'm talking about Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's going up against Kansas City in Arrowhead. The opener at Arrowhead. The Chiefs have been on the road the first 2 weeks. They finally come home for their first game, and who walks into town? Lamar Jackson. I think this game is going to be a somewhat of a shootout. I do think that the Chiefs will score and win the game eventually, but I do think that Lamar Jackson is going to score some late touchdowns. It's going to help him in his fantasy cause. So I got him coming at number 4. Coming at number 3, I like Russell Wilson. The Saints, I think that if they get down early in this game, they may give up. And it's just me being honest. I'm a Saints fan. But if they get down early in this one, they may give up. Russell Wilson can have a big game today. So I'm going Russell Wilson number 3. Coming in number 2 for me is Matt Ryan. Like Keel said, Matt Ryan, I'm expecting a huge, like in all honesty, I'm expecting a huge game from Matt Ryan. Kind of the same sense of what I said about the Giants. They get Indianapolis today. Indianapolis has played very hard. I think Darius Leonard's out there. They're all pro linebacker. I just think that the coach, even though they're playing hard for Frank Wright, it's just a lot to overcome. And Atlanta with their big win over the Eagles, I think they might have finally got over the hurdle, especially with Drew Brees going down. So the Bucks and the Falcons, I'm big on both of them moving forward. Players from both teams I'm big on. So we'll see. I got Matt Ryan coming in number 2. And my number 1 guy today has been a fantasy stud, if you got it, and a fantasy nightmare if you're going against him. And I'm talking about, in the words of my man Jimmy Johnson, how about them Cowboys? Dak Prescott comes to the number 1. The Miami Dolphins. That's all I got to say. Come on, man. Dak Prescott, this is going to be, he's going to get some, he probably get a rushing touchdown, a couple in the air, to Amari Cooper, maybe Jason Witten, maybe Randall Cobb. We do know Michael got him out for today, but this is going to be pretty easy. I think that Dak Prescott by far is the number 1 fantasy quarterback today. I'd actually consider starting Dak Prescott over Patrick Mahomes today. That's how much I like Dak Prescott today. So I got Dak coming in number 1 here. All right. So let's move on to running backs. Top 5 running backs on the day.
Well, number 5, I finally jumped on the bandwagon because I'm rolling with Peyton Barber at number 5. No, I to be honest with you, I always thought Peyton Barber would be a bust, but he's proven me wrong, man. A great outing last week. Going against the Giants, where a team that I'm confident that he could do well in, so I got him at number 5. Number 4, I'm going with Marlon Mack, man. Marlon Mack, I think he'll have a huge advantage against the Falcons defense, and I think he could have a huge game, and he's probably going to help your fantasy team out. True, I think he could drop at least 17 to 20 fantasy points today. Number 3, I'm rolling with Sony Michel at number 3 against the New York Jets. The New York Jets defense is a little banged up right now, so I like my chances with him at number 3. Number 2, I'm gonna roll with David Montgomery at number 2, man.
Wow, you looking at my list right now.
I like what David Montgomery was able to do last week. I think they're starting to utilize him the way I think they should. And I think going against a Redskins defense, man, a defense that I'm really, feel like he's going to do well with, I think he's going to have a huge game Monday night in Washington. And rolling up with my number 1 list, I'm taking Mark Ingram at number 1, man.
Wow.
I know it's against Kansas City, but I think Mark Ingram is going to have a huge game today, man. I think he's going to put up some huge numbers, especially the way this offense is running. I know the Ravens, they played against some cupcake winnable teams, but this game, I like the Ravens in general, and I like Mark Ingram too. So I got Mark Ingram at number 1 right now, and that's my top 5 for running backs.
Okay, coming in number 5 for me, Keel is 1 off for me. I got Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb comes in number 5 for me. I think if this team is going to beat the Rams, I think they play tomorrow night or tonight, one of them. I know they play a night game. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but I know it's a night game against the Rams. But I got Nick Chubb because I think in order for them to beat this team, they're going to have to run the ball, keep that defense honest, get some one-on-one matches from the outside. But definitely, Nick Chubb at number 5. I like him a lot against the Rams, and I think he'll have a pretty good pretty good outing. But number 4, I'm with Key on this one. I told people before the season I like this team, and I'm going with Peyton Barber. I like Peyton Barber when he came out of Auburn. I thought, like, man, this kid can be really good, really good. And it just never really flourished into anything yet. But this year, I think it's going to be his breakout year. And I think it starts today. I think he's going to have a monster game today. I actually wanted to move him up. Matter of fact, I'm going to move him up. So he's going to be number 3. My number 4 guy is going to be Chris Carson against the Saints. Chris Carson, Rashad Penny is banged up today, so he may not play, he may play. But Chris Carson's going to get some work in this game. I think you have a big game. So I'll put him at number 4. I'm going to move Peyton Barber up to 3. I like him right there because I like him a little bit more than Chris Carson. If I had to start one, I'd go with Peyton Barber. But coming in number 2, me and Keo agree. David Montgomery. I think going against the Redskins, this is the matchup right here. I think this is his coming out party. So if you got young DM, you might want to start him today. I'm actually starting him over Sony Michel, who I like a lot, but I'm going with young DM over Sony Michel in one of my big leagues. I did not have Marlon Mack in my top 5 because he is questionable today. They said they're going to wait till a pregame, but I think he's going to play, but still that's too iffy for me. But I do like the pick for Keo and putting Marlon Mack in the top 5. I just said that's just too iffy for me. But my number 1 guy, Keo, I'm sorry. I know it's not your team, but you live in the area. And I'm going with Dalvin Cook against the Oakland Raiders defense. I think if anybody has been following Dalvin Cook this year, Dalvin Cook has finally returned to health status, and Dalvin Cook has been killing it. He's the 3rd best fantasy running back right now in fantasy football. And I think he continues that today. He could end up being the number 1 fantasy running back after today. I love Dalvin Cook. I think he should be in your lineup against the Oakland Raiders at home. I think the Raiders having to travel to Minnesota is going to be tough on them. So I'm going with Dalvin Cook as my number 1 running back today. Here, let's go to top 5 wide receivers. Do we have Q on the line?
Yeah, sorry about that. I just wanted to add running back before we leave the running back list. I just got news right now that James White is actually out for today's game. So, I think this is huge for fantasy owners, man. For James, for Sony Michel. So, James White is out. So I know a lot of people have James White in flex options and running back 2s right now. So it's really huge right now, man. Huge opportunity for Sony Michel today also. All right, so number 5, starting at number 5 for me at wide receivers, I'm rolling with Nelson Aguilar, man. The wide receiver situation is really banged up right now for the Philadelphia Eagles. And he had a decent game, man. He made some huge plays, so I expect him to make some more huge plays in this game. So I got him at number 5. Number 4, man, this guy has been, a huge surprise. I know True really liked him this year in fantasy, and he showed up, man. Marquise Brown at number 4 against Kansas City. I like them to have a huge game once again. At my number 3, I'm rolling with a guy that has been surprising people. I think it benefits him with this offense, and I like Cincinnati. I mean, I like Larry Fitzgerald, man. Larry Fitzgerald, going against Carolina, who's been struggling, and I like this team's chances, man. And I think Fitzgerald's gonna have a huge game once again. And I got him at number 3. Number 2, I'm rolling with Calvin Ridley. Matt Ryan is looking for him more. I think he's going to have a way better season than his rookie campaign. So I got him at number 2. And number 1, I'm sticking to the same game. I'm rolling with T.Y. Hilton. at number 1 right now. T.Y. Hilton, I think he's going to be huge being at home. Colts offense, they've been playing really well as of late. So I got T.Y. Hilton as number 1, and that actually rounds up my top 5 for wide receivers for today.
All right, coming in number 5 for me is an LSU favorite, and that's Jarvis Landry. I think Mr. Landry is going to have a good game today because I think that Baker Mayfield is going to realize I fed Odell the ball so many times last week. I got to get my man Jarvis Landry involved, and I think Jarvis Landry is going to have a really, really good game today. Coming in number 4 for me, I got Julian Edelman. I think that the departure of Antonio Brown, Edelman's going to have a really good game. They're going to say, you know what? Yeah, we don't have Brown, but we still have Edelman. And Edelman, I think, is going to catch anywhere between 6 to 10 balls today, and they'll probably score a touchdown. So I'm going with Edelman at number 4. Coming in number 3, this is a tricky one, and this is the Kansas City wide receiving core. I would start all of them this week. Sammy Watkins, DeMarcus Robinson, Nicole Hartman. I like all of them. Now, depending on what it is, as far as flex plays, Nicole Hartman is more of like a flex play to me. But if he's a wide receiver number 2, I'm not mad at you. DeMarcus Robinson is more of a flex play. Wide receiver number 2, not mad at you. Sammy Watkins, to me, is a wide receiver number 2. He needs to be in your lineup. I like all the Kansas City receivers, and that's why I just bunched them up because I was going to put just Sammy Watkins, but I like all of them. Coming in number 3 for me. Coming in number, no, that was number 4. I'm sorry. I got 1, 2, 3. I got too many. I'm tripping. Okay, I'm tripping right now. I got 6 people on my thing, so I'll just give you my top 6. So that was actually my number 4. My number 3, I like Calvin Ridley too. I'm with you on this. I like Matt Ryan a lot today. Calvin Ridley, man, I think they're gonna, try to stop Julio Jones from what he did last week, and Ridley's gonna tear him up. So I got Ridley coming in at number 3. Coming in number 2, I got Marquise Brown. Q and I on the same page with this. I had Lamar Jackson in my top 5. I did not have Mark Ingram in my top 5 because I think they're going to get down and have to throw the ball. So I look for Marquise Brown to have a pretty good day today. Probably score a couple of touchdowns. He comes in at number 2. But my number 1 guy goes to my number 1 guy, quarterback. And I'm talking about Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper is the number 1 fantasy receiver today for me. And as I think about it, if I had any receiver in the league, that includes the Julio Jones, the DeAndre Hopkins, the Odell Beckham, the Keenan Allen, all these big-time names, Michael Thomas, I would definitely start Amari Cooper over Michael Thomas. It would be a no-brainer for me. No-brainer. And I think Michael Thomas is one of the elite receivers. So Amari Cooper's coming in number 1. I think he's having a monster game. I got Amari Cooper coming in at number 1. Let's go to tight end, Steve.
All right. Starting at number 5 for me, I'm rolling with Vernon Davis, man. Vernon Davis. Once again, Jordan Reed is out. I think Vernon Davis is a huge option. Anybody sees him in the waivers, I recommend you guys pick him up, man, if you guys really need a tight end. So I got him at number 5. Number 4, I think this guy's going to be a sleeper, and I'm rolling with Jason Witten, man. Jason Witten, he's been having some decent games, and I like how the Cowboys been utilizing him. Huge security blanket for Dak Prescott. So I got him at number 4. My number 3 guy, number 3 is tough, but this guy hasn't broken out of the shell yet, but I gotta roll with this guy, man, and I'm rolling with Jared Cook at number 3. So I got Cook at number 3. Number 2, I'm going to show Mark Andrews some love, man. I haven't had him in my top 5, but and he's been huge, man. A huge asset on this team. Lamar Jackson has been looking for this guy a lot as of late. So I got him at number 2. and my number one guy is this is actually surprising too when it comes to my number one guy, man, because I actually haven't had this guy at number one also, and I'm finally rolling with Evan Ingram, man. Evan Ingram has been huge as of late, and now with Daniel Jones as the quarterback, it definitely raised his value up. So Evan Ingram, with the depletion of the wide receiving core in New York, Tate suspended still, I think, and I'm not sure how healthy Sterling Shepard is. I'm rolling with Evan Ingram, man. My number one guy. He's going against Tampa Bay. Look for Daniel Jones to look for him a lot, especially when this is Daniel Jones' first start. So that rounds up my top 5 for tight ends.
All right. Well, I'll go with you guys. I'm different from you. I think he's going to have a bounce-back game today. I'm talking about T.J. Hockenson. I think he have a bounce-back game today. I think that Matthew Stafford is going to hit a couple of passes today. Matthew Stafford is going to look back at that film and say, you know what, maybe I could have got my guy the ball some more, give him some more confidence. I was skeptical about him before because I thought he had a lot of busted coverages last and the game before that, the first game, and that's what made him have a great game that first game. But I do think today Matthew Stafford is going to try to feed him a little bit while the Philadelphia Eagles try to stop Galladay. So I'm going with Hockenson number 5. Coming number 4 for me is Darren Waller. He just seems like he's one of Derek Carr's favorite targets. I know he likes a guy Tyrell Williams, but I think Waller, going up against that Minnesota defense in Minnesota, I think they're going to try to get a little quick shots over the middle because the corners for Minnesota are pretty good. So I think they're trying to attack more of the middle of the field with Darren Waller. So he comes in number 4 for me. Coming number 3, and this guy would be number 1 if I knew he was going to play. But I had to put him in my top 5 only because I like him that much. He was my number 1 guy last week. He put him in his top 5 this week. And I'm talking about Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews is questionable. It's a 50-50 chance he's going to play or he's not going to play. So be aware of that. He may not even play today, but if he does play, he could end up being the number 1 tight end. But I put him at 3 just because he may leave the game early. It's 50-50. He's banged up. So he comes in number 3.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, okay. And then coming in number 2, I'm with you on this one. Evan Ingram. He has been at 1. I got him at 2. Daniel Jones is going to play a major part in this. Daniel Jones is going to try to get his tight end the ball. Evan Ingram's going to have a monster game, but he's going to be locked up by the person in the same game. I just think that O.J. Howard has to have his breakout moment. Dude is super talented. He has Evan Ingram going against the other side of the field, 2 guys that came out in the same draft class. I think O.J. Howard outdoes Evan Ingram today. I think both have monster games, but I'm going with O.J. Howard to be the number 1 fantasy tight end today. And that wraps up my top 5 tight ends. Let's go to kicker. Defense, Gil.
True. I'm going to have you go first with the defense as I gather my defensive teams.
Okay, so it's all good, my brother. It's all good. So, coming in at number 5 for me, I'm going with the Green Bay Packers. We know what they do. They've been playing some really good football lately. I don't know what's going on. When you have the Green Bay Packers, you have Aaron Rodgers. You can have a team that can actually, score a lot and then they give up a lot. But not this year. This year is a totally different year. They've been one of the better defensive teams, so I'm going with them coming in number 5. Coming in number 4, I got the Seattle Seahawks. I know people might think I'm crazy because the Saints have so many weapons, but until I see what Teddy Bridgewater can do, I got the Seahawks coming in number 4, and I'm actually really confident in that. I know Kill believes me too, so I got them coming in number 4. My number 3 team though is the San Francisco 49ers going against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh has a backup quarterback. I like Mason Rudolph. since he's at OK State. But to me, that's dangerous. You're going to San Francisco across the country to play the San Francisco 49ers, who, by the way, is 2-0. By the way, has been playing really good defense. By the way, has been playing really good football. I think that the 49ers completely shut down the Steelers today, get the dub, and they'll finish up at the number 3 defense. My number 2 defense has probably been the best defense in football up until this point, and it's not the Chicago Bears. I'm talking about the New England Patriots. Going up against the Jets. The Jets on their third-string quarterback. Yes, I'm going to say it again. On their third-string quarterback, and they got to play against Tom Brady and the New England Patriots in Foxborough. I'm going with the Patriots at 2 just because of that. And they could have finished number 1 against today, their number 1 ranked defense by a landslide. It's not even close. They're the best defense in football right now, and by more than 10 fantasy points. And the 49ers have been playing lights out. But my number 1 defense, you got to see the trend going today. My number 1 defense, come on, man. How about them Cowboys? Come on, bro. Don't play on me. They got the Miami Dolphins at home in Jerry World. You may see another shutout today against the Dolphins. The Dolphins are going to struggle in today's game. I got the Cowboys coming in number 1, Theo.
At number 5, I'm rolling with at number 5, I'm gonna roll with the Green Bay Packers also at number 5. I think the defense been playing really well as of late, so I got that at number 5. Number 4. Number 4, I'm rolling with the San Francisco 49ers against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm not confident at all with the Pittsburgh offense. I think they've been struggling as of late, and I think it's going to be really tough for them. It's going to be really tough for them this game against San Francisco, man. And I expect San Francisco to go 3-0, and I think the defense is going to be huge once again at number 4. And it seems like our defense is pretty much identical, just the position. Number 3, I got the New England Patriots against the Jets. The Jets defense is in trouble, man. I mean, the Jets offense is in trouble against New England's defense, especially with the play of playing your third string quarterback. You're gonna rely on Le'Veon Bell a lot, and those receivers are expected to step up. So I'm not sure how this offense is gonna pan out. I just expect New England's gonna get some huge fantasy points at number 3. Number 2, I'm rolling with the Dallas Cowboys against the Dolphins. I think this is gonna be a nightmare for the Dolphins, especially the game being in Dallas. Man, it is gonna be a bad look, and I don't think you could go wrong with 2 or 1, because at 1, I'm rolling with the Chicago Bears at 1 against Washington. Man, I just think Washington's gonna struggle in this game, and they're gonna have a hard time going against the monsters of the Midway. And I got Chicago at number 1 right now. So so that rounds up my defense. So let's go. So I guess we're gonna go to kickers now, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So kickers. Even though I do think they're gonna struggle against the Niners, I do feel like they're gonna get some opportunities, and I got Chris Boswell at number 5 right now for the for the Steelers at number 5. Number 4, I'm going with Giants Aldrich Rojas at number 4 against Tampa Bay. Number 3, I'm going with Will Lutz at number 3, man. I feel like this offense is still talented, and they'll get opportunities. And if they do not score any touchdowns, you'll get a lot of opportunities with Will Lutz. And Will Lutz, he has a strong feet, so he'll give you some 50-yarders, and we were able to see that against the Houston Texans at 3. Number two, I'm going with Mason Crosby, the Green Bay Packers kicker, against Denver. So I think he'll be huge. And at my number 1, man, just you'll get used to this name. I'm going with Joey Sly from the Carolina Panthers at number 1. Panthers offense has been struggling. I'm not sure what the status is Cam Newton is. I think they already named Kyle Allen as a starter, but they still got the talent with McCaffrey, Samuel, DJ Moore. So and they still got a decent defense. It's just about how they're going to move this ball and what's their game plan. But I expect Joe Slide to get some opportunities against Arizona. So that rounds up my top 5 for kickers.
All right. My number 5 for me is a game. Well, let me do that. My number 5 for me is Robbie Gould. Robbie Gould, starting out as kicker going against Pittsburgh. I wasn't big on San Francisco, but San Francisco had some really good wins this year because I thought they were going to lose to the Bucs in opening game and they beat the Bucs. But and then last week they kind of flexed their muscles against the Bengals. But this week against the Steelers and the Bengals Steelers group, I think they're going to get 3-0. Robbie Gould's going to play a major factor in this game. So I got Robbie Gould coming in at number 5 for me. Number 4, I got Matt Gates, the Buccaneers kicker. He has had some misses already this season, but I just like him a lot to be against the Giants. They're in field goal range a lot against the Giants, and they're up to some field goals. Coming in at number 3 for me, I got it's 2 people at one spot because it's one game, and it's Harrison Butker. And Justin Tucker's elite for me, but I'm still trying to say his name. In this game, I like both kickers. I like Harrison Butker and Justin Tucker because I think they're going to score out of place in this game. You'll get a lot of field goals, you'll get a lot of extra points. You'll get some deep field goals because both of these kickers have a strong legs. So I'm going with those 2 guys at the number 3 position. Coming in at number 2 for me is my man that hit a big-time shot. And people are still cheering in the state of the state of Illinois, the city of Chicago. I'm talking about Eddie Pinheiro. Yeah, Eddie Pinheiro. That's what I'm saying, baby. I think my man is on his way now. I like them against the Redskins today, and I think he's going to do great things as far as that team. But my number 1, sticking to what I'm doing, you kind of keep trends with me, and I'm talking about my man Brent Maher from the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, the Cowboys are going to run away with this game. This game is going to be a blowout, I believe. I think the Cowboys win this game by at least 20-something points. I would say probably around 25 points. They're going to win this game going away against the Dolphins. So I like Brent Maher as number 1, my number 1 guy today. Okay, Keo. Flex appeal, baby. Flex appeal. Who's your top 5 flex guys today?
My top 5 flex guys for today at number 5, I'm rolling with Matt Breida at number 5 right now. I think last week the San Francisco offense they ran the ball a lot, and they were really huge with that, and they were really successful. So I got them at number 5. Number 4, man, I'm gonna go with a tight end, and Vance McDonald, man. And shout out to your brother. I know he's been trying to move Vance McDonald, but it ain't working against me. But I like what he's been able to do, and I think he's huge. A flex player as far as tight ends goes. So I think he could be definitely a huge flex player. My number 3 flex player, and I like the way the ball's been going around him, and especially with Michael Gallup gone, I'm rolling with Randall Cobb, man. If anybody has opportunities to land a trade to get Randall Cobb, I suggest you do. Randall Cobb is a great flex player to use, and I actually got him at number 3. My number 2 flex player, and I think True mentioned this guy. He was like, "Hey, you better watch out for this guy. I'm telling you." And I'm going with John Brown, man, from the Bills. You know, people talk about the Bills, and they say they have nobody. John Brown. You look at this dude's numbers. Oh man, ridiculous. So I got him at my number 2. My number 2 flex player as of right now, and my top flex player right now. He had a huge game last week, and I don't think it was a fluke. I'm rolling with DeMarcus Robinson, man, at number 1. I think he was the top flex player. If you look at waiver wire pickups from last week, he was on the top of the list, man. DeMarcus Robinson, man. So I think he's gonna be definitely huge for fantasy owners. So that actually rounds up my top 5 for top flex players to utilize.
All right. Well, my top 5 flex is some guys that may surprise you a little bit. But coming in number 5 is Tariq Cohen. I just like the Bears today. I think the Bears are going to beat Washington. I think Tariq Cohen, I said the young DM is going to do his thing. But I think Tariq Cohen kept some balls in the backfield, and it'll be a nice look for the Chicago Bears finally getting back on track. Hopefully their offense shows up more than it has these first 2 games. I think they'll score a good bit of points today. Coming in number 4 for me is Will Fuller. I just believe that Will Fuller has to have a breakout game sometime. He's too good of a receiver and an offense that has so many weapons. When you think about DeAndre Hopkins, when you think about they just acquired Kenny Stills, Duke Johnson, Carlos Hyde, all these guys. But Will Fuller's been there the second longest outside of DeAndre Hopkins, and yet Kenny Stills has had a touchdown. I want to say Carlos Hyde has a touchdown this year. I want to say Duke Johnson, I believe, has one, but it's not. They all gotten the ball a lot. I think Will Fuller today gets his first touchdown of the year in this game. So I'm going Will Fuller at number 4. Coming in number 3 is a guy that I will tell y'all firsthand, despite me liking the team, I did not like, but now I'm starting to like a lot, and that's Chris Godwin, the Buccaneers wide receiver. This dude, Keel had nightmares about him last week after what he did to Keel last week. Chris Godwin is somebody that you definitely want to put in your flex play. Some people make the argument. I know Chris starts him as a wide receiver number 2. This dude, man, Jameis Winston loves him. So I know I have Howard having a big game. I know what they do. They love Mike Evans. I have Peyton Barber having a good game. But you have to start Chris Godwin because he's getting too many targets. So I got him coming in at number 3. Coming in at number 2 is Sony Michel. I'm with Keel, especially with James White being out today. Sony Michel to me is a good flex play, a really, really solid flex play with James White out. But number 1, because I have people telling me there's no way they'll start Peyton Barber at a 1 or 2. If you're not going to start him at a 1 or 2 at running back, he's definitely a great flex play. He's the number 1 flex play in my mind. If you don't want to start Peyton Barber at 1 or 2, you want to start him as your flex. Peyton Barber, to me, is probably the best flex play unless you just have a loaded team. Then of course, like in one league I'm in, I got Alvin Kamara, Ezekiel Elliott, and Nick Chubb. Of course, I'm not playing him over Nick Chubb in my flex play. But, maybe play him over one of those guys. One, because I like him that much this week, but normally I wouldn't play him over one of those guys. But Peyton Barber comes in clearly as the number 1 flex play for me. Must start today. All right, Keel, waiver wire pickups. Who's the top 5 waiver wire pickups right now you feel like you should be going after?
Like I mentioned, not any particular order, but Demarcus Robinson is huge, especially at 5. 4, I think this guy is actually starting to get picked up more often now, and that's T.J. Hawkinson, man. He struggled in last week's game, but I expect him to pick it back up at number 4. Number 3, I'm not sure if I pronounced his name right. Raheem Mostert or Mostert, however you call it, from the Niners. Number 3, Niners feels really confident with him, utilizing him, especially as far as running the ball. At number 3, number 2, man, I'm pretty sure he has been picked up, but if anybody has an opportunity of grabbing this guy, I'm going with Frank Gore at number 2, man. Frank Gore at number 2 with David Singletary out. Frank Gore is the next man up, and if you're looking for somebody to give you at least 10 to 11 points, Frank Gore is that guy in a favorable matchup also. So I got him at number 2. And my number 1 pickup, I'm going with, the number one pickup. Oh man, this is tough. But my number 1 pickup, I'm gonna have to go with Geronimo Allison at number 1, man. Besides Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers has been looking for him quite a lot. He has a couple touchdowns, and I got him at number 1.
Okay. So I'm going to name somebody first before I even get started because this dude is owned. Now, I want to make people understand what I'm about to say. This dude is owned in less than 50% of leagues. And the only reason why I can't name him this week is he already played. But if you want a fantasy stud, I actually traded this guy away in a league, and I'm beating myself over it because I like Minshew now. And I'm talking about LSU's pride, DJ Chalk. This dude here, man, 59 fantasy points thus far this year. That's tied for the best in the NFL at wide receiver. And he's owned in less than 50%. He's barely owned in 40. He's owned in 41% of ESPN leagues. Think about that. This dude is owned in 41% of ESPN leagues. We got to do better, people. DJ Chalk deserves to be on everybody's team. At worst, if you still don't believe he should be a flex play every week, but he has to be picked up. I just didn't put him in the lineup because you can't pick him up right now because he's locked. If he's in your league, you can't pick him up. So, with that being said, let's go to my list. Number 5, Kansas City weapons. What you mean, Hank? Kansas City weapons? Yeah, I'm talking about everybody. Everybody. Patrick Mahomes throws to everybody. Everybody gets touchdowns over there. Mecole Hardman, Demarcus Robinson, even my man that did the running back. I know that Williams is out today. There's a chance that Shady could be out. What's his name? I don't have his name written down right here. I just have KC's weapons. The running back. Let me think if I can say.
LaShawn McCoy?
No, McCoy.
Damian Williams?
No, Damian Williams is not playing today. Oh my God, I'm having a brain freeze.
Darwin Thompson?
Darwin Thompson. There you go. If he doesn't play today, well, I know Damian Williams is not playing, and they're saying Shady is questionable. Darwin Thompson has an instant boost. I mean, he could be your number 1 fantasy KC running back today. That's how potent that offense is. So you want to pick up all the KC weapons, man. I would just start stacking and storing with these guys. If you just have like a free roster spot and be like, man, who should I pick up? Just pick up a Kansas City person, and you'll be okay. Just pick up somebody for Kansas City. If they on the roster, the 52-man roster, pick up somebody off of Kansas City offense because you never know who's gonna actually get hurt or whatnot. So you want to pick those dudes up. But coming in, besides that, I'm going with Marquise Brown at 4. Do you know that Marquise Brown is still not owned in 90% of ESPN leagues? Marquise Brown is Lamar Jackson's number 1 target. Marquise Brown is the top 5 fantasy receiver thus far this year. Why is Marquise Brown not owned in 99% of 100% of ESPN leagues? Is mind-boggling to me. You got to pick up Marquise Brown. And the only reason why they have him higher is because he's owned in, almost 88% exactly. So that's why I put him at number 4. But in reality, he should be picked up in way more leagues than just that. Coming at number 3 for me is a guy that I'll be real with you. He's a top 10 fantasy receiver. I didn't even know that. And I'm talking about Terry McLaurin for the Washington Redskins. These guys been really good the first 2 weeks. 20 fantasy points. He's averaging the first 2 weeks. He's actually putting up points. So shout out to Terry McLaurin and everybody that picked him up in the league. He's only owned about 64% of ESPN league. He's obviously a really good flex play. I'd be super mad if I was playing against him and he was scoring 20 fantasy points. I'd be like, who is this guy? But he's doing very well for himself. Coming in number 2 for me, though, is a guy I think you can pick up right now. He may score for you today. I'm talking about Devin Smith from the Dallas Cowboys. No Michael Gallup. Devin Smith, I would actually pick him up and play him. And that's why I have him so high on the list, because of that factor. This dude can honestly score 2 touchdowns for you because there's a chance that everybody's going to try to stop Amari Cooper and company. So he comes in at number 2 for me. But my number 1 guy,
that pick.
It's all good. My number 1 guy is a guy that's not owned in 80%. Not owned in 80% of ESPN leagues. He's actually only owned in 78% of leagues. And y'all know me, I like to stick with trends. And I'm telling you, this guy's going to have a breakout season now that Drew Brees is not here no more. And Keel's like, who are you talking about? I'm not talking about nobody for the Saints. I'm talking about the Buccaneers, baby. Peyton Barber. I'm sticking on track, baby. Peyton Barber is not owned in 80% of ESPN leagues. He needs to be owned in many more. 99% to me, because Peyton Barber is going to be big time this season for you. You have a starting running back for a team that's going to be really good this season. And I like him that much. I think Peyton Barber needs to be owned in 100% of leagues. So I got Peyton Barber coming in at number 1, Keo. All right, Keo. We into that moment now. Our favorite time of the day. The dud, the stud, and the bust. Well, the dud, the stud, and the sleeper of the week. I'm sorry.
All right. I'll start off with my sleeper of the week. My sleeper of the week, I'm rolling with my sleeper of the week. I'm rolling with Mike Williams, baby. My sleeper of the week.
That's a really good one.
The first week he was a little bit banged up. He gave me 11 fantasy points. Because I have him in multiple leagues. He gave me fantasy points, and last week he gave me at least 11. He had that nice acrobatic catch, and I expected to be utilized, man, especially in a game against the Texans, which I expected to be a shootout. So I got them as my sleeper of the week. Now I'm going to my dud of the week, man. My dud of the week, man, I hate to say this, but I think it's happening. and I'm rolling with Jared Goff as my dud of the week for Sunday night's game. I think Cleveland is going to show up. I noticed in our NBS Central picks that majority of people picked the LA Rams except me and True, and I expect Cleveland offense to definitely show up. I think their defense is going to be huge, and they're gonna control this game, man. And I think Goff is going to struggle on the road in Cleveland against a decent defense like Cleveland. So I got him as my dud of the week. Now it's time for me to go to my stud of the week. My stud of the week, I'm sticking to the same game, man. And my stud of the week in this for this week, I'm going with Baker Mayfield. That's my stud of the week. Yeah, man. I think Baker Mayfield, he didn't have the best game, but I think this win definitely it was definitely good for him, man. He got some rhythm now, and you saw him looking for Odell a lot. This time with Njoku out, I expect Juice to get the ball also. So it's gonna be tough for this LA Rams secondary to contain those two LSU wide receivers. So Baker Mayfield, I think he's going to be huge. He's at home going against the Rams, a spotlight game. Man, I like Baker Mayfield as my stud of the week.
All right. Well, my sleeper, y'all know me, I'm consistent, like I keep telling y'all. My sleeper is Peyton Barber. People are sleeping like Vic was laughing at me like, Peyton Barber's really you like him that much. I'm like, dude. Because he's trying to get a minute trading paper, Peyton Barber. Peyton Barber's about to have a monster game today. Mark my words. Peyton Barber's going to be the sleeper of the week this week. After this week, Peyton Barber's going to be owned in 90-something% of the fantasy football league. After this week, I like Peyton Barber that much. My dud of the week, it hurts me to say this, Michael Thomas. Oh, he's going to struggle today. In Seattle, I don't think he's not going to score a touchdown. He's not going to have many catches. I say the over under is 5. I say under. If you say over under 50 yards, I say under. Michael Thomas, I would actually at best play him at a flex position just because he's played so every snap. But he would not be my wide receiver 1 or 2. There's plenty of guys I would start over him. Like for instance. And which these kind of teams you can definitely have. Like, let's say I had Amari Cooper and who's another receiver I like? Let me go back to my receivers list. If I had Amari Cooper and Sammy Watkins today, I would start both of those guys over Michael Thomas.
Wow.
I wouldn't even think twice about it. If I had Amari Cooper and Jarvis Landry, I would start him over Michael Thomas. If I had Amari Cooper and Julian, I would take Julian Edelman over him. I'm telling you, I'm not starting Michael Thomas like that. I think he's a dud.
Amari. What about Amari? What about if you have? Yeah. What happens if you have Josh Gordon on your bench or somebody like Allen Robinson?
I would start all of them dudes over him. All of them.
Wow.
Michael Thomas is going to be a bust today. Mark my words, he will be a bust today.
Mr. Big Money, you wouldn't start him at wide receiver 1? What?
Okay, my stud of the week, I could have went a whole plethora of ways. And
Here we go.
I should go this way, I should go that way, I should go this way, I should go that way. And you may be saying, what you mean you can go this way, you go that way? I'm not talking about different teams. I'm talking about who on the team is going to be my stud.
Wow.
Because I can say my son is Amari Cooper. I can say my son is Dak Prescott. But my son is keep on eating. Zeke Elliott.
Wow.
I think this is bad. This is gonna be bad. I think Zeke may score 3 touchdowns today. He might get $150. He's gonna be a monster today. If it's not him, it's going to be Dak, and Dak's going to have a monster game. But I'm going with Zeke. The Cowboys are going to run away with this game. This game will be over. I got the Cowboys. I got Zeke Elliott as my stud of the week, Kill. Let's go. I'm confident in my team this week. Like, I'm real confident. Peyton Barber as sleeper. Michael Thomas is a dud. And Zeke. You know what? I'm about to start making Kill do our, do like a flyer for us. Our stud and duds of the week and sleepers of the week so we can post them on Instagram. Fantasy football style. Woohoo! But let's go and wrap this show up, Kill. Do I have Q on the line?
All right, let's go to the shout outs really quick. I'm gonna start off with obviously shout out to everybody that tunes in and supports the show. I know this subscribers have definitely gone up, so shout out to you guys that's that always continue to tunes in and supports the show, and the new people that that are now supporting the show also. The shout out to you guys, obviously X, always holding it down once again. But best of luck to everybody on fantasy football for this weekend, and we'll see you guys on Tuesday for the Nbs Show.
Definitely. Well, shout out to my man, Keo, man. Well, man, still got some good things that we're working on. I can't wait to let you guys see it. It's going to be lit. It's going to be real lit if it's done right. But like I always tell you, man, if you lose, you have nobody but to blame but yourself. But if you win, like Drake said, man, take us later. It's been the Startem Show. I am the Sports Junkie, and we out. Peace.